Here we are. It's the battle of the Simpsons formats. Half of these are standard def, the other high def. So let's see which group fares better. I took all 21 episodes, eliminated 5 to get our 16 semifinalists, and then I tossed aside the other 6 pretty quickly to get our 10 finalists. I guess this was one of those years where there were 3 distinct tiers. Here are my top 10 Simpsons episodes of season 20. Ooh, this should be interesting. I've heard of some folks who really like Dangerous Curves and some who despise it, so I'm here to play the middle by putting it at number 10 out of 21. Okay, so sure, Act 3 is kinda terrible as a culmination of this story, this danger set piece. And the Homer-Marge potential cheating angle isn't given enough time to feel credible. They're packing a lot into this narrative, where pacing-wise it works better in feature length. That said, I do respect its ambition, that they gave us 3 unique looks at Homer and Marge's relationship, how things twist and turn over time. We see them at both their best and worst. The Homer-Marge Flanders part is genuinely great, establishing their dynamic and featuring many memorable jokes. I even enjoy how cuckoo bananas some of the middle-era cheating jokes are. It's super shallow and rushed, but it's funny in how manic it is, like a Homer-Marge sex comedy. I think it's easy to frown at Dangerous Curves because we instinctively hate the idea of Homer and Marge cheating, and The Last Temptation of Homer, this isn't. But due to its format alone, Dangerous Curves is super compelling and deserves a closer look. What I appreciate about Father Knows Worse is how it flips the typical Homer parenting dynamic on its head. This is one of those special, high-effort Homer affairs, where he puts on his big boy pants and really gets to work. Back in 2008, the writers were like, what is this helicopter parenting thing? And Homer is a great vehicle for chaotic fun. I like how competitive he gets with the model contest, biting off more than he can chew. Similarly, trying to improve things for Lisa, also biting off more than he can chew. It walks a nice line of being topical, while bringing a different character dynamic than usual. Also, Oscar Wilde is here. This isn't Homer's half-assed overparenting, he's using his full ass. It does bug me that they did the cliche opening set piece, then the whole super tasting thing, just to totally throw it away. It's a strange mechanism for getting Homer into the school. It does provide some fun though. I'm just like, what is this, season 11? Still, despite being kinda all over the place, all the individual pieces of Father Knows Worst work. Also, Marge has a couple scenes about a secret sauna or something. I have one major reservation about Lost Verizon making this list. How Homer and Marge are so stupid, they let Lisa manipulate them into going to Machu Picchu. Yeah, I like how they set it up earlier, good job. And the Day Awesome, Night Scary montage is hilarious. But come on. Marge is not this dumb. I don't buy it. That said, I love the core premise. The Simpsons exploring the concept of kids and their dang cell phones. These new challenges that parents faced in 2008. It gives Bart a believable goal to work toward and a shiny new toy to play pranks with. A little bit of Bart vs. Australia in here. There's some awesome Marge-Bart material too. I even dig the Dennis Leary factor. He injects some quirky and intense action to this down-to-earth concept. And most importantly, he doesn't overstay his welcome. Is this essentially just another spin on the Marge over-mothering Bart concept? Yeah, basically. But new technology can add a lot to these old chestnuts, and Lost Verizon is definitely a worthwhile venture. At first glance, Homer and Lisa exchange crosswords feels like a total retread. It's a Homer gets a job plot mixed with a random Lisa passion plot that turns into a Homer's a bad father plot. Wow, it's a 3-in-1 combo. What a bargain. For what it's worth, these first 2 stories are executed extremely competently. We get an amusing montage of Homer breaking up couples and Lisa falling down the crossword rabbit hole. They're definitely jumping around and getting there, and neither storyline has much depth, but it's fine. However, this thing gets truly interesting in its final act. How Lisa has seen enough Simpsons episodes to recognize that she's gonna lose the big contest. How Homer accepts, yeah, that's how these plots always go. And then, instead of having the big blow up like Lisa's substitute, she goes totally cold. It's eerie yet believable seeing her emotionally give up on him at this point. This feels like a distinctly season 20 plot, how it recognizes its own tropes and actively finds a new way to play their relationship. I just wish Act 3 were longer, that we cut down some of the preamble. Then it could focus on the awesome Homer-Lisa feud. Is this ranking too low, I wonder? A lot of diehards really like this one, but I've always been cooler on it. My thing with Gone Maggie Gone is that its plot is such a convoluted mess that I have trouble following what anyone is ever doing. Yes, I know, it's because they're parroting the Da Vinci Code, which is full of messy conspiracies. I do like the scavenger hunt aspect of this. It's just that the adaptation forces them to throw a lot of random crap at us that they can't set up. So the whole thing feels very arbitrary. Even this setup, how Maggie gets to the convent, I don't get why we're doing any of this. I know it sounds like I hate this episode. Believe me, I don't. I think the commercial break puzzles are exceptionally clever, especially the old Fox Goose grain homage. It's definitely one of the funniest episodes of the year. Love the Ratatouille homage, this Homer Marge scene, wise guys, what is it with kids and the candy-colored poison? And once again, it's really Maggie Sherlock might be my favorite joke of the year. Love Lisa's reaction. So much great stuff in here. It's just too much of a Shaggy dog story for my taste. I still have never read or seen the Da Vinci Code, so I'm gonna blame the source material for this one. You remember back in season 16, I called Home Away from Homer the most average Simpsons episode of all time? Well, How the Test Was Won is the most pretty good Simpsons episode of all time. I think it does everything pretty well, and makes no major missteps along the way. It basically takes the opening of Whacking Day and expands it into a full episode, this time sticking Skinner with the bullies. I like seeing them all together in such a different setting, the boys being rambunctious and Skinner trying to keep them in line. Some great Ralph stuff and a decently funny danger set piece for Act 3. As for Chalmers, he gets to do his no-nonsense shtick proctoring the test, and we get some neurotic Lisa action. They're even able to fit in a B-plot, with Homer and the insurance. Sure, it only amounts to one substantial scene, but for what it's worth, it's visually striking and memorable. Maybe that's the quote-unquote issue as a whole, its lack of substance. While all the character conflicts feel believable, they don't expand upon them in any way or provide a new spin on their personalities. They crammed a lot into this thing, and I dig how swiftly it moves along. How the Test Was Won feels comfortable and familiar, and will leave you with a brainless and fun dance homage. A solid 7 out of 10. I am satisfied. This is gonna sound weird, but deep down, No Lonergan Naturally is my favorite episode of Season 20. I think it succeeds at almost everything. It has an extremely fun opening set piece with Homer's Mardi Gras party, which sets up the main financial issue and Homer and Ned's dynamic. It has a compelling shakeup of the status quo, as Ned becomes the Simpsons' landlord. It has a new take on the Simpsons-Flanders feud, as the landlord-tenant relationship changes things. Its joke writing is strong, with the pretend we're in Zurich, Homer's waist marks, Bart holding up this picture, Homer's badminton, Bart's red hair, the Hulk t-shirts, even this perky lady being like, yay, but why? I love how down-to-earth it is, that of course Homer would do something dumb and get foreclosed on, that of course Flanders, the good neighbor, would take pity on them. It feels exactly like a classic Simpsons premise. So, why is this only at number 4? Because I hate how quickly the two sides start hating each other. It's just so 0 to 100, so quickly, that it makes The Simpsons a bunch of unlikable assholes and it hurts the ending. They didn't earn anything. Just dial it back 20% or improve the pacing, and I think you have the best of the season. As is, it's a flawed episode that I love anyway. I like the good, the sad, and the drugly for similar reasons as Bart's friend falls in love. This time, it's Bart ditching Milhouse for a girl, and Milhouse sabotages it. And comparatively, it's less of a third wheel situation overall. It focuses more on the Bart-Jenny dynamic, asking, what if Bart's girlfriend was actually a good girl? How does Bart deal with that? I appreciate how character-driven it is, how Bart struggles with hiding his bad boy reputation. Jenny is played by Anne Hathaway with enough sweetness and earnestness where it's clear what kind of guy she's interested in. So they make a good comedy duo and create believable dramatic tension. Milhouse, for his part, plays the jilted, jealous friend well, really putting the screws to Bart in Act 3. Also, wow, it's the introduction of Shauna. Neat. Lisa's B-plot, by contrast, is full of fantastical sequences and surreal visuals. It adds a topical element that the main story lacks. And some might not care for its portrayal of antidepressants, but it's so over the top, it doesn't bother me. Honestly, I think I just enjoy Lisa crash-outs, and this delivers in spades. She's so funny in these roles. Every time I watch Waverly Hills 90210, I am always surprised by how damn good it is. It seems like it should be frivolous, trend-chasing garbage, putting Bart and Lisa in rich people school, dealing with 3 differently spelled Caitlins. I mean, there is a character named Alaska, Nebraska. This is the most 2008 thing ever. But somehow, it works, putting them in this unfamiliar setting, seeing how Bart manipulates everyone. Then tries helping Lisa out and gets her tangled in a web of lies. It's got a couple funny chase scenes, with Bart's 1960s-esque police run, and the girls being like, those are last year's shoes, let's kill her. Also, it's Lisa. It's a very witty script. Even the Ralph in their school speaks French. But my favorite thing, by far, is the Homer and Marge B-plot with his shitty apartment. I love it so much. It's adorable seeing them going back to their early 20s. Marge coming over, going to parties, and Homer giving her a key to his place. How Marge redecorates and ruins his bachelor pad. I think I'm a sucker for this kind of Homer-Marge joke. They're just so cute together. I even like this bizarre No Country for Old Men homage. It's so funny seeing it juxtaposed in this fluffy plotline. Gotta have stakes, you know? The reason this lands at number 2 is because it is a bit shallow. It's a very fun romp, but it's not like a season-winning fun romp, you know? But whatever. This episode still rules, and everyone should avoid judging this book by its cover. Eenie Teenie Maya Mo is the very best Mo romance episode in series history. I know, not the highest bar to overcome, but this one feels special. What this episode does exceptionally well is that it gives us that intimate look at Mo's mindset when it comes to relationships. That it's not a simple story of Mo the liar or Mo the asshole, it's about Mo's hang-ups. That he clearly appreciates Maya for who she is, but he's so hung up on her shorter stature that he gets in his head about it and can't stop making it weird. Of course you can introduce Maya to your friends. They will like her. Why are you making this an issue? It's very true to Mo's neuroticism and lack of experience. Like, Mo wanting to get the surgery in Act 3 is ridiculous, but is exactly what Mo would do because he doesn't understand his hang-ups or Maya's needs. He only thinks in grand gestures. I do wish we got more of Maya's POV throughout, and I find the proposal fight a little clumsy in its execution. Still, she does bring a nice mix of good humor and inquisitiveness toward Mo. They are a legitimately cute couple, and all these scenes make you want to root for them. I appreciate that the issues are baked in enough that her leaving in the end does feel earned. And it provides my favorite moment of Season 20. It has a very charming Homer-Maggie B-plot too. While slight, it fits in with the overall vibe and provides visually striking moments. Love all the POV shots in here and its resolution. Eeny Teeny Maya Mo is the most nuanced and substantial episode of the year, with some very charming jokes. So despite a couple dumb little nitpicks here or there, I think it's a very deserving number 1. It's definitely the episode I respect most in Season 20. Just missing out on this list were Lisa the Drama Queen at number 16, followed by Take My Life Please, Sex Pies and Idiot Scrapes, My Paws and Boomsticks, Coming to Homerica, and finally, The Burns and the Bees as the Bubble episode. Doing a story where Lisa has a bee beard is one of the most bizarre concepts ever, and I kinda respect it. To be honest, even though I eliminated 5 immediately, Season 20 is one of the rare post-classics that doesn't have a truly bad episode in it, in my opinion. The worst ones are probably Double Double Boy in Trouble, because why are we doing this idea, as well as In the Name of the Grandfather, which is just a whatever travel episode. Sorry, Ireland. But even these are like 2 out of 5s. Nothing aggressively terrible about either. Congratulations, Season 20, for raising the floor of quality. Let me know what you think of these rankings and your favorites from Season 20. Was I being a Gone Maggie Gone hater? Is Waverly Hills not as good as I say it is? Is How the Test Was Won not really the most pretty good episode ever? Let your voice be heard. Next up will be the clout-chasing world of Season 21, in which Homer does a movie, Krusty gets a new sidekick, Grandpa gets a human interest journalist, and Moe becomes an American Idol judge. Okay, I guess after a year off, Hollywood is officially back again on The Simpsons. As always, thanks for watching.